Hey there, comic book fans. I am back from the comic shop again this week, and I got 5 new comics. Plus, here are the freebies I got. Comic shop news, of course, James Bond. All sorts of James Bond stuff in this one, I guess. Last week was all Marvel Legacy, now we're all James Bond. Lady Mechanica ad. Let's see. Marvel previews. Marvel Legacy. You know what? I think I want to do a separate video. I was looking at last week's, looking at all the covers, kind of, going over them in my mind. So I'm like, I should make a video going over these covers in my mind. So I might do that with last week's one. Then maybe I'll do this week's after I look at it. But I'm not sure what this is. Foom. I know Foom was the old 1970s Marvel official fan magazine, so I guess they're bringing it back. Make yours all part of their Marvel Legacy thing. Oh, at least it gives you a look at all the homage covers. That'll be cool to look at. Even though I won't be buying any of the comics, I'll read about them. Oh, no, I was at the shop today, and there were 2 lenticular covers. There was an Action Comics lenticular cover, which was really well done. It had Superman as a baby and his mother and father, and you look at it one way and it's all them happy standing there, and you look at it the other way and Krypton's exploding and his mother and father are turning to skeletons. Really well done. And the other was the new Marvel Legacy #1 lenticular cover. I couldn't figure out what that thing was. It was like you look at it one way and it looks like everybody standing there. You turn it the other way and it's the same exact picture except the colors are washed out. I'm like, what did anybody get that lenticular cover, the Marvel Legacy one? Does it do anything lenticularly except wash out the colors? Let me know. And then the first comic of the week is Aardvark Comics, #1, another Cerebus webcomic one. I enjoyed last issue, or I shouldn't say whatever, the Batvark, that was it. They're doing there's going to be 4 one-shots of this, which is real annoying. Like my shop owner said, I think he said he ordered 4 of them, because I didn't even pre-order the first two just because it's such a pain in the neck to pre-order all individual #1 issues. Oh, there are the other ones coming out. Strange Cerebus, and Cerebus and Hell are the other ones. I guess this is the next one. Don't know what the one after that is then. But I've been enjoying these. It's really, but like I said, he knows he can sell 4 copies of it, and one of those is to me. So he just said, I just ordered 4 copies, and this was the last one on the shelf. But it's not like everybody's lining up to buy these strange. Like I said, Dave Sim can't draw anymore, so he's doing cutting and pasting out of old. These are old prints from like the 19th century and 18th century, and then he's pasting Cerebus stuff on there and writing strips. But it works a lot better than I thought it was, so I'm enjoying these thoroughly, and I'll get the next. Look at this, another issue of Berlin, issue number 21. I think so that means there's 2 issues that came out this year. I think issue 19 came out 2 years ago. This has been going on since 1996. But I think it's ending at issue 23. I'm not positive about that number, so maybe he was trying. Actually, 2 issues came out in like 2012. I was looking it up. Like 2 issues came out in 2012. 1 issue came out in 2014, and now like 2 issues have come out in 2017. So it takes a while, but it's a story of Berlin in 1936 or something like that. I've been following it for 20 years, so I'm not going to stop now. Whenever an issue comes out, I'm just happy to see it. Jason Lutz is the cartoonist on this, the writer and artist, and it's just a good comic. And of course, we have the latest issue of Saga, chapter 47. Last issue was pretty good. We had some, the last of our abortion world story, I think, and then we had 2 other characters kind of hook up, and violence and shooting. Looks like we switch over this issue to different characters. guy being tortured. These must be, I forget who that, I don't know if that might be a new character. I don't recognize that mirrored character or the beaked character. I guess we get all new stuff in this. I don't know what's going on. Blank back cover. But, you know, I always enjoy Saga. It's a fun book. Been going on for 47 issues, so I wonder if this is the book I have the most issues in a row. Now, it'd be Usagi besides Usagi Yojimbo, what comic do I have the most issues in the row that I'm currently collecting? Ooh, I'm not sure. It might be Saga. I'll have to check that out and get back to you. And here we have Lazarus X plus 66, number 3 of 6. These are all done in ones about the world of Lazarus. The first issue was kind of a boot camp story. Second issue was about one of the other Lazaruses. Look at the artwork. Who's drawn this one? Because these are, each drawn by different people. Art by Justin Greenwood. Don't know who that is. We'll see how his art is. Looks all right. But issue 2 was about, in a recent issue, one of the Lazaruses betrayed the main family in the story. And it was a story kind of about his betrayal. And the Lazaruses are like superheroes, except they're made through like drugs, gene therapy, DNA manipulation, stuff like that. And they can make them kind of mindlessly loyal, but I don't think they usually do, because when they do that, they lose the Lazarus's personality and creativity. But this was all about looking at that one Lazarus and if they were going to make him mindlessly loyal or not, because he didn't really want to betray who he betrayed, but they kind of took over his body and made him betray them, and then he was dealing with the aftermath of that. And we got the story. Oh, look. Current reading list. We got the story of what happened after. But like, I really enjoyed issue 1 was okay. Issue 2 I really enjoyed. We'll see how I like issue 3. And we'll finish up this week with Southern Bastards, issue number 18. And this is the lead character from the first story arc who showed up at the very end of the lead character's daughter of the first story arc. And she showed up at the very end of the first story arc, and then we switched over to other stories. So this has been, 12 issues coming, her showing up in town. We assume to avenge her father. But who knows? This Southern Bastards has a way of going in directions I don't expect. So I'm not exactly sure what she's going to do. Looks like she's getting some info here about how her father died. Spoiler, her father died at the end of the first story arc. So if you're just jumping on 3-4 years later, I spoiled it for you. Oops, it's on the back. It's a nearly blank back cover. But yeah, I enjoy Southern Bastards a lot and can't wait to get on this issue. Finally, we'll end with showing you some of my background art, and I dug into one of my boxes of stuff because once again the stuff is undated, but I think it's at least 10 years old. Some pencil drawings. This was for a character I was developing for a comic strip that I never did, but I think that this one is photo referenced. That was me standing there in a jacket, not quite like that one. I was doing something different with this one when I was kind of making the folds almost like speed lines. I never quite worked out anything more on that style, but I always liked those speed line folds. And this one is another one that was, I made a print out of this one. I think this was my Mary Magdalene print. But this was also photo referenced, but you'd never be able to tell due to the intricate decorative drawing. So you see a little blue line under there, the original drawing that I just kind of drew decoratively over. But that's another way to use photo. When I use photo reference, it's often not to make the thing look like a photo, but to kind of just give me a starting place to draw over. And that one was photo referenced too. And of course, this one is not photo referenced in any way. This was, I don't know if I made Time Is Mine. I don't know if I ever made anything out of this. The drawing looks familiar. I don't know if I ever inked it. I could have used it as a part of another print, but I don't know. But there's just a little look at a few old working drawings from, 10, 12 years ago. And you guys all have a good week out there.